Hi everyone and welcome to the Art with Holly workshops. We'll just give it a few more minutes just to see who joins us and then we'll get started. So today we're going to be making some nature bugs using toilet roll tubes. Here I've got about 5 and I've got some colour paper, some pipe cleaners, sequins, glitter, lots of decorative material that we can use. So we'll just give it a few minutes, see who joins, and then we'll get started if that's okay. So for decorative material, I'm using sequins, some glitter glue. I've got some streamers here, using crepe paper. I've got some ribbon. I've got things like cellophane, different materials. I've got some foam, some tissue paper. I've got a few stickers as well that you could use. They're quite handy. Some googly eyes maybe, and then some wax crayons and some coloured pens as well. So we're all ready to get started. Now these workshops are running every Friday as well on Facebook Live, as part of the charity called Unique Kids as well. So every week from 10 AM on a Friday we'll be doing different craft activities, different things that you can join in with, and these workshops are really open to anyone, so if you'd like to join then just give me a message. Right, I think we'll get started now. As soon as you start to join, then please just message in the comments section. I can just see a few more people coming in now. So whenever you're in, just message in the comments section on the left-hand side, if that's okay. And I mentioned before that we were going to make some nature bugs using some toilet roll tubes. Now, through my craft activities, I try to go with a more environmental theme, where we're using recycled materials, different objects, and just experimenting with different materials and different colours as well. So that's great. Oh, hi Abigail. All right, I think we're going to get started. So first things first is to get the toilet roll tubes, and we're going to just start by cutting some strips of black paper. So I've got some black card here, and then some yellow paper as well. So I'm just going to cut some strips, fairly thin, I'd say, with some scissors. Now we can cut the short side because we don't need that much to go around. Now I'm going to start by making a few bees, but again you can make really whatever bugs you like. Maybe some ladybirds or something. And just think about what you see outside. So when you're out in the garden, what bugs or what things you find. Now you don't have to do it about bugs as such. You could maybe do some sea creatures using, your different materials. So again, think about that. And then what we'll do after we finish this is I've got a little box or some little cereal packets that we can use to make a nature garden. So a few more strips of the black, I think. And then I'm going to do some strips of yellow and red as well. So just test that goes round. There we are. And then we can just overlap it. So we'll do some strips of yellow and then some strips of red card or paper. So again, around 1 centimetre thickness, I think, for the coloured strips. Now, as I'm just cutting freehand, obviously they're not all going to be perfect, but it doesn't matter. So a few more of the yellow. Now I don't know how many tubes or I don't know, kitchen towel rolls or whatever that you've got at home, I mean, I'm working with five toilet roll tubes. So again, I think I might do like 3 bees and 2 ladybirds or something. But again, think about what you see outside, what things you encounter, and I guess what materials you could use to make them. Now I've got some tissue paper as well, and some cellophane, and I've got some felt as well. So again, think about what you can use. I mean, last week we made these rainbow binoculars as well. Just using, again, toilet roll tubes, some ribbon, some crepe paper, streamers that I've got on rolls here. And then we just used some stickers and some colour paper in strips and just wrapped around. Again, held together using sellotape. So again, quite good materials to use. So just going to keep going with our strips of yellow, and then I think we'll do a few red as well. So I'm just using, again, A4 card, but you can use paper or whatever you want. This paper that I've got at the moment has got quite a nice texture to it, which is great. So again, around 1 centimetre I'd say in thickness, and try and keep the strips fairly straight. There we are, and then maybe a few more of the red. Now it doesn't matter too much if they're not all, you know, the same size, but it would be great if we could get them to that. So I'm going to just start by getting my strips and just alternating between yellow and black, and again sticking around the tube using a glue stick. So I'm just going to push my materials up the table slightly, and I'm going to start with the yellow. So again, a nice even coat of the glue. So just make sure that you've got it all over the surface that you're working with, and then just get the tube and line it up with the bottom of the toilet roll tube, and then just wrap the colour paper nicely around so it kind of overlaps. There we are. So something like that. And then we're going to go with the black, and we're going to keep repeating this process until we've covered our tube that we're working with. Now I'm going to work on all 5, so what I'll be doing is repeating the process a few times, just so you know you've either got time to catch up or make more. So again, making, I think, 3 bees and 2 ladybirds. But again, think about what other materials you can use, what are the colours, what other bugs you can make. Maybe roll it around in your hands just so it all sticks together nicely. And then we'll go with the yellow. So again, alternating between the yellow and the black. A nice even coating of that glue. And then each time you're doing it, just make sure that you're lining the strip up with the one below it. I always think Pritt Stick works quite well. You know, you can use PVA glue, but it doesn't stick instantly. You've still got a bit of moving time, which could make it quite messy, and also it gets really, really sticky on your hands. So I wouldn't recommend using it, or at least for this craft anyway. But after we've made our bugs, what we'll do is we'll make a nature garden for them to go in, using probably tissue paper, and we'll make it nice and textured as well, you know, scrunching some tissue paper up and that kind of stuff. But again, I don't expect you to use the same materials as me. I expect you've all got different things that you can use at home, you know, pens, crayons, that kind of stuff. So maybe think about how you can use those in your design. And then just wrap it around nicely. And then we've got one more strip to go. And then I will show you my partially finished design. As soon as you're in the chat as well, just message in the comments section on the left hand side, just so I know, you know, who we've got in the group, in the session. So again, just wrapping it around. So very similar to what we did last week, actually, in terms of technique. And just roll it in your hands just to make sure it sticks properly. And then here is my first tube, you know, just alternating between the two colours, and then we're just going to leave that to the side. And then I'm going to start with my second one. So this time we'll do the ladybird. So we're going to go with a red strip of coloured paper and stick it at the bottom. So again, lining the strip up with the bottom of the cereal packet. Roll it around a bit, and then we'll start with the black. So again, just keep repeating this process until everything is covered. And then we'll move on to the wings as well, because we've got some black wings for the ladybirds and the bees. It'd be great if you could let me know, maybe if you're creating at home, what things you're making as well. Now remember, these videos are going to be saved as well after the session, so don't worry if, you know, you haven't finished everything or you want to watch it later, then that is fine. Just head over to the art page and all the videos from the session should be saved on there, so you can watch, you know, ones that have happened, you know, weeks ago, and that should be okay. Now I am also recording as well, so I will be posting the link for my craft tutorials on YouTube as well, so again, they are going to be available on there too. So just alternating between those two colours. If you need some more glue, just don't hesitate in adding some more on, but I think I'm okay for now. Although I may need to cut some more black strips as well, so I think we'll get cracking with that in a minute. Just wrapping that red material around the tube nicely, rolling it around a bit, and then I'm going to get some more of my black material, so we'll cut a few more strips, I think. Oh yeah, that should be enough for now. Again, so just repeating this process, keep applying the glue so it fully sticks. Now sometimes that technique works and sometimes it doesn't. So then this is my final strip of black card for my second one. So again, there we are. And then I've got my two colour tubes ready. Now I think I'm gonna start by doing my third one, just so we'll have a little garden, you know, a little collection of creatures. Now if you want, you can make a series of these, so, you know, make different creatures that you see outside. So think about what else there is apart from ladybirds and bees. So again, when you're outside, when you're going out for a walk, what do you see? Maybe you can make a butterfly or something. Use some multicolour kind of material. That would be quite cool. So again, think about what you see outside. So when you're on your lockdown walks, what do you come across? What do you see in summer as well? Now this is a craft that you can kind of build on as well. You know, we haven't got to finish it today. You can just keep adding to it, and the idea is we're going to make our own mini garden. So this is our first kind of creature that we can add in, and then you can just keep building on it in your own time as well, which is great. Now as you get going, this process actually does become a lot quicker as well. There we are. And then the final strip, I think, for this one is the black. I thought my glue stick was going to go off the side of the table then, but all's good. There we are. And then we'll go with my other one. Now I think we said 3 bees, didn't we? 3 bees and 2 ladybirds. So I'll start with another yellow one now. Now this toilet roll tube is actually a lot thinner than the other ones, so this shouldn't take as long. Now I've been saving these all week as well, so before you throw things away, just think about what craft activities you can turn them into as well. You know, throughout my workshops I've been looking at kind of the idea of recycling and what we throw away, so whether it's toilet roll tubes or milk bottles or milk cartons, or tin cans or cereal packets, which are very good for, you know, different craft backgrounds as well. So again, before you throw them away, just have a think of what you can make them into. I think that kind of theme works well with us being in lockdown and us spending more time, you know, either indoors or outdoors, you know, walking. Right. I'm nearly at the end of my last bee. So again, all you need is the strips of black, yellow and red paper or card, and then just keep alternating between the two as you're layering up your design. I think I'll go with a yellow for the last one. And then just roll it around in your hands just so all that glue kind of sticks together and the strips don't come loose. I'm just going to go for some more of my black card strips. Now I hope me repeating the process a few times has helped as well. Helps you catch up or think of new creatures you can make. Now this is my final one, and then we're going to start on the wings for them. So again, make sure you've got some more black paper or black card ready as well. And then I'm going to go in the black. So again, just alternating between those two colours. And just make sure the strips of material don't come loose. So again, this technique of rolling it around a bit could come in quite useful, I think. Probably one more black, I think, and then one more red, and then we should be okay. think about what you can use for the eyes as well. So you could either use a Sharpie, or I've got some googly eyes here as well. So think about what things you can use to decorate. So whether that's googly eyes or glitter glue or ribbon or whatever. Right, so here we go. So I've got 5 of my tubes all done. And then we're going to go with some wings now. So you can either use Pritt Stick or sellotape for this little bit here. So I'll just move my tubes out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Now I would start by just cutting out both wings as one kind of component, just so it just makes it easier, I think. So something like now once you've done one, you can actually use this as a template for the other key that you do. And just to make sure it's the right size as well, maybe hold it to the back of your design that you've done. So possibly that could be okay. And then if I hold that to the back of my design, I could tape it something like that. So that could be quite good. Or maybe tape it a little bit lower down so that it looks kind of like that. So think about how big you want the wings for your bees and ladybirds to be. Now I'm going to repeat this process a few times by just holding my first template over the material and then just cutting around fairly evenly with the scissors. You need steady hands for this as well. There we are. It might help to maybe wash your hands in between as well. So it just makes it easier to move around. So I'm going to repeat this process 4 times, well 3 times now, for my 5 bugs that I've done. There we are, that's okay. So then just keep doing that until you've got the right amount of wings for your bugs that you've done. Now if you are creating at home as well, maybe put in the comments section what creatures you're making, what materials you're using possibly. But like I said before, all these videos are available either on my art Facebook page, where we're broadcasting from obviously now, or my art YouTube, so my Designs Holly Eva YouTube that you could use. Now these sessions are being recorded for both, so if you want to watch them back at a later date, then again feel free. So I'm just going to cut evenly around the wings with the scissors. Now I think Amanda said that we've got Faye joining this, and I think she said Bob as well. So hi to you guys. I hope you're having fun with this activity. Now I've got 5 sets of wings, so I'm just going to put my black paper to the side. Now it's making everything very sticky on the table. And then get each toilet roll tube that we've decorated, get your glue or get some sellotape, and then just roll the glue. Add quite a lot, I think, to at the middle, as you can see, the middle of the design, and then just stick it something like that. There we are. So we've got our first creature done. Obviously that's the back of it, but we're more interested in the front, I think. So we've got our wings on our first one. Now again, keep repeating that process I'll just put this here just so you can see. Keep repeating that process for the amount of toilet roll tubes you're using. So again, you may only have maybe 1 or 2, but as soon as you start, you know, collecting more of them, just feel free to keep making this design, and then just keep adding to them as well. So you can make different creatures, different materials, and you can make a whole collection or a whole series of them. So here's my bee that I'm doing. I'm just going to keep repeating this process just until we've got the wings on each of them. Now keep them fairly central, but you know, we want them quite high up, so obviously they kind of curve around anyway. Let's leave them there just so you can have a look. And now the next stage for us, I think, is to think about the eyes of our designs. Now I think on the little materials and craft thing that I posted, it showed that I used, you know, googly eyes and maybe a Sharpie pen as well. I'll just have a look. Let's have a look what I've used. Yeah, I've used googly eyes and a black Sharpie pen as well. And then for the bees, so I'm going to put my ladybirds to the side. For the bees, we're wanting some little things to kind of come up from the top. So we're wanting some thin strips of black paper. Now, try and maybe add some more glue if they don't stick at first. There we are. That should be okay. Now I've got a black strip left over here, so what I'm going to do is cut it in half. So we're only wanting these fairly thin. Now I've got 3 of the bees, so I'm wanting 6 thin strips. So again, something like that size. And then hold it over just so you can gauge exactly how long each one is, just so they're all the same size, or roughly the same size. And then this is my 5th one. So just keep repeating that process just until you've got enough. So then these are all roughly the same size for the bees. Now we're just going to start by gluing the bottom. So again, just rolling the bottom of the black paper on the glue, and then just sticking it on the inside. Now this is quite fiddly with my hands already being coated in glue. But if you like, you could use sellotape or something for this stage. And I'll keep repeating the process using some glue. So again, something like this. So keep doing that and gluing the black card or paper or whatever you're using on the inside. So again, something like this. There we are. Make sure you add enough glue as well, actually, just so it doesn't come loose. this is my last one that I'm doing on this bee here. There we are, we're done. Right, so we've got the bees with the little bits sticking up, and then we're going to have a look for some googly eyes. Now, I had a new order of googly eyes this week, so I should be able to find some. Wanting them all the same size, so I want obviously 2 on each one, so I'm wanting 10 all the same size. Let's have a look what we can find. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. Right, okay, I've managed to find 10 all the same size, so I'll get cracking with that. So what we'll do is we'll do the eyes first before we start doing the Sharpie for the mouth. So again, get the glue stick, get the googly eye, roll it on top. Now you're wanting quite a lot on, I'd say, you don't want it to fall off. And then glue it just on there. And then keep repeating this process just again. So we'll the same kind of thing. And keep them evenly spaced out, I'd say, you know, maybe a centimetre or 1.5 centimetres, I think. So something like this as well. So each one should look like that or similar to that. There we are. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm sticking the googly eyes at the top of the black strip, probably like in the centre kind of thing. And then on the yellow, you can then obviously do draw the mouth on. And obviously we wanted it to be on the yellow because we're using a black Sharpie. But you could also use glitter glue or anything else for this as well. So don't feel that you have to use the same or the exact same materials as me. Now, every week I tend to get out quite a big selection of materials, quite a few different things. And then it just gives you ideas and you can really just use whichever ones you want as well. So I just realised I've got them all with the backs facing, so I'm just going to turn them around a bit just so you can all see them. There we are. So far we've got the bees done, and we're just going to work on the ladybirds. But like I said before, you can really just create as many of these as you want. So maybe think about creating a little series of them or something, because I think they'll look quite good, you know, as mini crafts as well. So just bear that in mind. And then I'm going to get my Sharpie pen and draw on the mouth for my design. So all of my googly eyes have been placed on the black layer. Just going to put the glue away. And then we just want maybe just a little line and then maybe 2 short lines either side. So I'll show you something like this. Yeah, something like that, I think, for each of our things. So 1 long line kind of curving round and then 2 short lines either side. There we are. And then we're going to move on to our nature garden. So this wasn't actually mentioned on the materials, but if you've got maybe a cereal box to hand or a shoe box or any packaging, then you grab that. Now what I've got here is just a box, just a plain box, and then the lid for it. Oh, thank you very much, Abby. So I've got a plain box that we can use. Now, really, it depends. I mean, you can either make one to stand in, and then you can create the little box, and it could be like a portable kind of design, or what. So again, that is up to you. Now I'm just gonna put my bugs to the side a little bit. And then we're going to get some green paper. So for this, think about different materials that you can use and just layering it up. So I've got some green card, and I'm thinking about just using the green card just for the bottom of it, but then adding tissue paper in to kind of layer and make it look more 3D. So if we just keep trimming it, just taking off a centimetre or two at a time, this should eventually just slot in the bottom of the box. Go again with a bit more. Now alternatively, you could use a cereal packet or a baking packet. Now what I've done here is I've just opened it. This is a Betty Crocker brownie mix. Just opened it and just trimmed the sides off, and I've got a base that you could then decorate and then put your bugs on top. So again, think about other materials that you can use. That would be great. Now that fits in perfectly, so what I'm going to do is clearly knock over all of the googly eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue around the sides of my green material, of my green card, and just layer it in the box. Flatten it down, and then you can see there we've covered it. Now the colour that I've used isn't actually far off the colour of the box itself, but I quite like this card. Now I've got some green tissue paper. Think about different shades that you can use as well. So I've got some light green, and I'm just going to open this up. Some light green and then some dark green that I'm going to use when I can find it. Okay, here we go. So again, just do the same kind of technique as before. So again, you're wanting just balls of tissue paper. So tear some tissue paper off, and then just scrunch it up lightly. And just keep doing that, so we'll create a pile of them, I think. So a pile of fairly crunched up bits of tissue paper. Yeah, so think about different shades you can use. So here I'm using more of a bright green, and then I'm going to start by using my other tissue paper, which is a little bit darker. Or what you could use for this is you could use wax crayons or felt tips. So again, thinking of different materials that you can use to make the design. And then I'm going to start by just gluing it in gently. Just get some tissue paper, kind of scrunch it up, and then just glue the bottom of it. So just maybe twist the glue a little bit. It doesn't matter if it's not all fully done. We're thinking about layering here, so again, just building it up. yeah, building it up using just glue and different materials. So think about other things that you could use as well for this. I think cellophane is quite a good one. And also you can maybe create some flowers. So again, that's maybe something that you could do. Maybe some standing up flowers using, I don't know, a cereal packet as like the main material, possibly. So again, just keep scrunching up this. This is going to obviously be our grass. Now, I bet you're having fun with this, Faith, because I know you like kind of like the outdoors and like different creatures and everything and different colours. And you do some excellent work with different materials as well. So yeah, you can just keep adding to this activity throughout the week. And maybe you want to collect things to go in. Now, I've actually done that, so I'll show you in a minute what else you could add in. And 2 weeks ago, we created our underwater theatre, and I mentioned about adding in stones. So maybe if you did have stones and you've got some left over, then you could add those into your mini nature garden as well. So yeah, so just going to keep sticking it. And then this is my kind of finished base for my garden. I'm going to put the glue away for now. And these are the stones that I was talking about. So little pebbles and things that you could maybe add in. Now, these sessions have been running since May of last year. So in the second session that we did, we actually made some painted stone creatures using obviously pebbles that we've collected. And here are a few designs that we've done. So again, some bees and some ladybirds, just using acrylic paint, you know, red, black, yellow, and painting them on some pebbles that that you could use. So I think what I'm going to do is put some of the pebbles actually in my nature collage. Now what I'll do is I will take a photograph and, you know, send it to everyone. And I'd like that if you could both, you know, all do the same as well, you know, send maybe a video or a photograph of your design. That'd be excellent. I know Faye and Amanda, you guys are really good with taking photos and sending them in, which is brilliant. And then maybe just some little pebbles at the side, possibly. But again, we don't want too much in. And think about anything else you can add in before we add our creatures. I mean, for the little antennae, you could have used, you know, black pipe cleaners or something. You could possibly put them in and do that. Actually, no, we could do that now, couldn't we? For our ladybirds. Yeah, if you've got any pipe cleaners spare, then they could be quite handy. So what we'll do is we'll get this pipe cleaner and we'll just cut it in half. And then we'll do the same for another one. So just again, just bend it in the middle roughly. And then for this, I think we're going to have some tape. So get some sellotape or some masking tape. And think about adding some flowers in if you like. So maybe you could use some glitter and some sequins for those, or some pom-poms. So think about maybe adding some more brighter colours. So let's get a bit of sellotape. And then what we're going to do is just hold the design facing us and then just add the pipe cleaners, kind of a third of the way down, I'd say. And then just add the tape actually inside the toilet roll. And then we'll put another one on the other side. And then just add some more tape in. And then maybe turn them around and kind of point them a little bit. So you've got something like that. Now we're going to do the same to the other one. And then another one on the other side. And then again, bending them a little bit. Now we have about 10 minutes left, so what I might do is actually have a go at possibly making a flower or something. So what we'll do is we'll put our designs in our nature garden, as it were. Got quite a few right here actually. There we are. So if I turn this round, here is the one that I've made, and as you can see, I'll see if I can do this. There we are, you can see the green stuff at the bottom of it as well. But I will take some photographs and put it on the group. So if you want, yeah, we can make some flowers to add in. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have any green pipe cleaners, I don't think. But what we can do is maybe use a yellow one or something. So possibly just fold it in half. And then like twist it a bit. Just so it becomes one pipe cleaner. Now for this you could also use some card or something just to stand it. There we are, that'll be okay. And then just bend it at the bottom. Now we're wanting maybe the centre of a flower, so I think we'll use a nice yellow for this. Now for me, I'm only going to make one flower just to go in the centre of the design. Quite a large-ish kind of thing. And then we'll get some pink paper, I think. Oh yeah, we can use some of this. Try to knock them all over. So again, I'm just going to freehand and do a little flower for us. And if you put the centre in, we've got something like that. Let's get the glue stick and just roll the glue across the circle and stick it in the centre of the flower. So again, something like this. Now what you could do as well, I mean what I might do is, I've got a sticker sheet with butterflies on. So we always have, you know, butterflies on flowers. So what I might do is add a smallish butterfly to my flower at the bottom. So something like that, just so it looks like the butterfly is catching on to the flower. And then we'll get some sellotape. Now we're going to tape the card that we've got to our pipe cleaner. So cut a few smallish pieces of sellotape. And put, oh, I'm rumbling a little bit. Hold, yeah, round about there. And then place our tape on the back. And just keep doing this. Now two strips of tape should be okay. So here is my little kind of DIY flower, and then maybe just bend the bottom of it. And now what I'm going to do, if I bring this more into the centre, is stick, I'll do it this way, stick the flower something like that. Maybe if you only bend a small bit, then the flower will be the same height or maybe a bit bigger than our creatures that we've done. So something like that. Or maybe you could rearrange them a bit and then the flower gets seen a bit more. So possibly like that. So what we'll do is we'll cut some more strips, I think, of this tape. Uh, 4 or 5 strips, I think, will be fine. And then just hold the flower kind of in the centre, just as you tape it to the bottom. That might help just to move a few of the bits kind of out of the way. Just tape it to the bottom, and if you want, you could add some more tissue paper just to hide the tape, but what I'm going to do is just put one of the stones just next to it, and then we've got something like that. And then all we have to do then is just place our creatures back into the garden. So there we have it. We've got our nature garden using toilet roll tubes, tissue paper, colour paper, pipe cleaners, and loads of other things. Now this is the end of the session for this week, but again, think about other materials that you could use, that you could add in possibly, you know, glitter glue, pom-poms, maybe some foil, some glitter, possibly even maybe some lollipop sticks to make flowers with, or pens or wax crayons. So again, loads of different things that you can use and experiment with. I like to use a lot of, you know, recycled materials, loads of different materials, you know, mixed media things, different colours. So again, just experiment with those and see where you go with them. Now, if you can take some photographs of what you've made, send them to me on Facebook, that'd be brilliant. But thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the activity, and I will see you all next week. Thank you very much. Bye everyone.